Alright guys, so today's video we're going to check out the brand new Bowers & Wilkins PI5 True Wireless Earbuds. Now this is more of a premium pair of earbuds because they do retail at $250, and that already puts it up against the brand new Sony WF-1000 XM4s and the new Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds because they're kind of in the same price range. The PI5s also have active noise canceling like those pairs, so I definitely want to compare this to those. We want to talk about the sound, see what all you get inside the box, and see if this could actually be worth the $250 price tag. Now, before you actually use these, one of the things that you may want to do is download the Bowers & Wilkins app. Now, I do feel like this app kind of feels like it's in beta. There's some things that I really wish they would add. I wish it had EQ control. I also wish that it had the ability to change your controls or switch some control functions on the actual earbuds. But some things that the app does do is it allows you to turn the active noise canceling on or off. It's also the only way that you can turn the ambient mode on, which is very frustrating in itself because I really would like to just have that function on the earbud because ambient mode is one of those that if somebody comes up to talk to you, you want to be able to switch it into that mode so that you can carry on a conversation. You don't want to have to pull out your phone, switch it into ambient mode to be able to talk, or just take your earbud out because that kind of defeats the purpose of having that ambient mode. Now, some other things that the app does, and one thing that's kind of unique to this pair, is it does have a soundscape feature. It has some pre-built sounds in there if you're looking for something to help you relax or help you focus. But some other nice features is it allows you to turn the sensors that are on the earbuds on or off because this pair actually has a unique smart sensor on the earbuds. Usually when you take an earbud out of your ear, it will just auto pause and then resume when you put them back in. And really that's what this pair does, but it actually puts them in a standby mode, which is kind of powering them down so that it's not using as much battery while you pull the earbud out of your ear. And so I do find that to be nice. Whenever you put the earbuds back in, it will just connect to the last device that you had them connected to, and it works pretty flawlessly. Now, also within the app, you can see the battery levels of the earbuds themselves. Now, this is what you would have to do if you're on an iOS device, but if you're on an Android device, it also has Google's Fast Pair, where as soon as you open up the lid and push the pairing button, you will see a pop-up connection come up on the screen. It's very easy to connect to the device, and then you will be able to see your battery levels up at the top where your notifications are. Now, as far as the active noise canceling and the ambient mode on here, the active noise canceling was surprisingly good. Now, I say surprisingly because a lot of earbuds just slap active noise canceling on the box or say that the earbuds have them, and a lot of them just don't do it very well. Now, I'm still not going to say that this is on the same level as the Bose or the Sonys, but it is just slightly under a pair of AirPods Pros. So if you're looking to block out engine noises, or if you're looking to just kind of dull out a lot of the sounds around you if you're in an office environment, this will definitely do it. But as far as people talking and higher pitched sounds, they still came through a little more than I would have liked. But the ambient mode, you actually have two different levels. You kind of have a low and a high that you can switch them between. And I feel like it definitely did a good job of picking up my surroundings. Again, I did find it frustrating that I had to pull out the app to actually switch them into ambient mode. But once you do, you have no issues with hearing traffic and hearing people talking and things like that. In fact, it actually sounds pretty natural. Now, as far as any other technology that these have, they are using Bluetooth 5.0. They also have aptX, AAC, and SBC playback. And as far as any kind of compression with audio, I didn't experience any. I also did not have any connection issues, and I did not experience any kind of lag with movies or videos. Now, I did have lag while using these with gaming, so if you're looking for a pair to use specifically for gaming, there's much better options out there that have a gaming or low latency mode. Now, I would have liked to have seen that feature added on these as well. So for everything else, you'll be fine. Just know for gaming, you will likely experience lag. Now, as far as using these outdoors, they actually come with an IP54 rating. So that means that they have dust protection and they have kind of a lower end water level protection. So if it starts to rain or they get splashed on, or if you're somebody that happens to sweat heavily, they'll be fine for those type of situations. But this is not a pair that you would want to submerge into water. Now, as far as what all they've included inside the box, they do come with the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips, but their ear tips actually have these little foam inserts in them. And the reason they decided to do that was it's a way to keep like earwax or anything actually falling on the earbud where the grill is located, which usually causes sound quality to degrade over time. If you're having earwax that's getting on the grill of your earbuds, it's blocking the sound that's supposedly going to your ear. So I do like this nice little touch to these. But another thing that I also want to point out about the ear tips is with this pair specifically, it hugely affected the sound. Because out of the box, it had the medium silicone ear tips. And when I initially put the earbuds in and started playing music, I felt like they sounded really, really flat. I was concerned that there was just no life to these at all. In fact, I was kind of concerned that there was something wrong with my pair. Now, when I switched them into noise canceling, they sounded fantastic. It opened everything up a lot more. It added a lot more dynamics to the sound, like the bass came out, the treble had a lot more life to it. But I still felt like I wanted the larger ear tips in my ear just so it had a better seal. But I noticed when I did that, if I had the noise canceling off, there was still a lot of bass just in the normal mode, but when I switched the noise canceling on, the bass just went to a whole other level where it was way too much. It pushed vocalists way too forward, and it kind of had like a weird effect on their vocals. So I had to go back to the medium-sized ear tips and dealt with the fact that I'd have a flat sound if I didn't have the noise canceling on, but I just left the noise canceling on, and that kind of solved all of those problems. Now, as far as anything else they've included in the box, it does come with a USB-C cable, but the USB-C cable on these is a USB-C to USB-C, which a lot of people don't have charging blocks that actually has the USB-C connection. And if you're going to be using portable chargers and different things like that, this isn't going to be as easy to plug into those devices. But the huge plus is the case on these is a Qi wireless charging case. So the simple solution is to just come in, drop it on a wireless charger, and then you don't even have to worry about the charging cable at all. And speaking of the charging cable, this is one area that is also on the lower end when it comes to this pair, because on the earbuds themselves, you're only going to get 4.5 hours, and with the charging case, you're only going to get around 24.5 hours. Now, that's with the noise canceling off, and that's also listening at around 50% volume. So if you like to listen to your earbuds fairly loud, and you do like to just leave noise canceling on all the time, you're not even going to get close to the 4.5 hours on the earbuds, and that is a huge drop in battery life. But one thing that kind of saves these, if you do happen to pick them up and they're dead or they die on you while you're listening to them, they do have a fast charge feature where a quick 15-minute charge will actually get you 2 hours of use. So being able to get a quick 2 hours on a 15-minute charge is definitely helping the low battery life that these have. Now, going back to looking at the case itself, I actually like the overall design. I do wish that they didn't have a gloss lid to these. I think it just kind of takes away from the rest of the matte finish that it has. Now, on the bottom, you can see the USB-C input. Now, up front is an actual notification bar. I do like the look of this because it will glow and pulse, and it looks a lot better than those tiny little notification lights. Now, as far as anything else in the case, whenever you pop open the lid, that is where your pairing button is located. You actually have to hit this even the first time of using these to put them into pairing mode. Now, moving over to looking at the earbuds, I absolutely love the design that the earbuds have. It's not too flashy, but it's unique enough to stand out amongst a lot of the other earbuds. But I do feel like they missed an opportunity to make the outside like chrome or silver part an actual turn dial. That way you could have just controlled volume on the earbuds by doing that. You could have actually used it to have track control because the earbuds are slightly limited when it comes to controls because they're using touch controls, but you don't have volume control, and you actually cannot switch these into the ambient mode without actually pulling out your phone. So you can play, pause, skip your tracks forward, go backwards. You can summon your smart assistant. You can turn your noise canceling on or off, but that's it. Maybe again, because these do work with the app, they'll be able to add this in a firmware update, but as it is out of the box, it's really frustrating that it feels like the controls are very limited. Now, for you guys that do like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right. And then one area I think they did a really good job with are the microphones. I felt like it picked up my voice very cleanly. I feel like I came through extremely clear, but I do want to point out that if you're in a noisy environment, I also felt like this pair picked up a lot of that as well. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the PI5s. I think this is definitely an area where these stand out because I think it picks up my voice extremely well, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound on these are actually really impressive. In fact, I think they sound very close to the brand new Sony WF-1000X M4s, which means it has a really dynamic sound. The bass is punchy, but it's not sloppy. It is a quick punch, but it has quite a bit of kick to it. Same thing with the treble. The treble can get fairly bright where you're having no issues with hearing details and the clarity in songs. And mids are fantastic on these. This pair has really good vocal representation. Being able to hear acoustic guitars sounded great. Now this is using it with the active noise canceling turned on, because with the noise canceling off, it's just not interesting at all. It's very flat. It's very dull. It just sounds like there's not a whole lot of life to the sound. But again, just leave it with the noise canceling on and you'll get a very pleasing dynamic sound. Now, as far as the sound stage and the sound imaging, this is another thing that this pair is very good at. It's very spacious, it's very detailed, and again, there's no congestion or muddiness to the sound, so you can easily tell where things are coming from, and because that's space in the audio, you can actually hear some distance between yourself and the guitar player or the singer, or if you're going to use these for movies, you can hear, a car coming from this direction, and it just really does kind of add to the experience of listening to these earbuds. Now, as far as some of my cons with these, I do have quite a few. One of them is the price. I think for this price tag, you're immediately going to compare these to some of the best that are in the market, and audio quality, they definitely compete, but noise canceling, they fall a little short with. Some of the options that you have within the app, they fall a little short with. Battery life is on the lower end. The build quality of the case, I just wish was a little bit better. But outside of those few things, I do feel like you're getting a unique looking earbud that does have the sound quality to match the higher end earbuds that are out there. It just has some limitations compared to other ones in the market. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Bowers & Wilkins PI5s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.